Hello everybody, welcome to the Seacrest School in Naples, Florida, where we have a miniature exploratorium set up. It's our science STEM discovery room. And let me just show you a few of the things that are in here. If you're exploratorium people, you'll notice that we liberally borrowed stuff. But our theme this time is optical illusions and how we need to use instruments to make measurements to really be sure that we're seeing what's really there. So as you can see on the floor, we have some common optical illusions, some questions for the kids to read. We have rulers to measure. That will solve the problem. Over here, one of my favorites, the cafe illusion, and we invite kids to figure out why this occurs, and then also have some little hands-on activities where they can move the strips around and find that only in this version, when they're offset by a square, does it actually work? And a little connection to our zebra friends here, and some different versions up on the wall provided by Doug Stith in New Hampshire, another exploratorium friend. Common illusions like this with no solutions are sort of thematic to our room here. Here's the tactile harp made in a toilet seat, and all the kids, of course, want to touch it right away. We have some simple things in boxes for them to touch and stuff on the wall, and also a temperature touch station where we invite kids to touch and then find out that these various objects, some of which feel cold, some feel warm, are really all the same temperature because we have an infrared thermometer, which they love to point around at various things, and we show them how to use it. And then they kind of wonder why everything's the same temperature, but it feels different. So here's a little temperature corner where they raise issues relating to that. We have some dyno lights around the room. These are really great little instruments. They plug into a USB port. And here we're having them distinguish between salt and sugar based on its crystalline structure, which is really obvious here in the dyno light. Mirrors are fun things because they, of course, confuse our little brain. Here's my father's nose. The kids really have a riot when they finally get that. And so we look around at stuff of this sort and just have some fun mirror things here. Christmas ornaments are great for doing this. A little box with CDs and mirrors in it. And of course the 3D illusions, the little kids just stare at this forever, trying to figure out what's going on in there. So that's fun. Also got some of these at the Exploratorium and found others online. Where did my penny go? Little kids love that. We have the great little, infinite mirror illusion, and it really is interesting to talk to little kids about what infinity is. Above this, we have the illusion of depth created by perspective. So we just got some common posters and some pictures on the wall that really talk about how we do this, and also they're doing something in art that relates to that as well. This is the color theater starring red, green, and blue. So we have some fadable colors, just like the Exploratorium, color painting display, and just some neat little things hanging in there, and the kids seem to love to make different colors, and we're not sure if they really get how color combines to make other colors, but I don't think it matters. They have a great time in there. Here's a cubic meter, and we're trying to convey the idea of density and how we're always fooled by density. And so we asked them to sit inside the meter and ponder, if it were made of gold or osmium, or if it was the core of the sun, what the density would be. This is combined with a scale and the common things of how much does this weigh, how much is that weigh, which is heavier, and then they can get the answer from the scale. Also out the window on a fence out there beyond our garden, which is also part of this room, is something on the fence, and the only way to figure it out is to look through binoculars. So we invite them to look out the window. Here's a funhouse mirror. It's just loads of fun to stand here and watch kids look at themselves in the mirror, so they like that. We also have the sound tube and just like the Exploratorium, so the kids do some experiments with sound, and we found some other common things that are interesting to talk into, and you change the kind of sound you make depending on the object. So this is a plastic light cover, got some sonotubes there. Here's our tube that's only about 18 feet long or so, but it's long enough to create an effect, and it's the biggest one I could fit in this room. Some other tubes they can talk into. This one's about 50 feet long, so they do get a bit of a delay. Over here we have how color combines to make things. You probably recognize this. And these are these great images you can download from the Exploratorium and see how we combine to make color. We also have some filters that they can shine through a light. We did not neglect smell. There are different candle waxes in these objects. And the fun thing is 2 of them are the same. And the kids are asked to figure out which ones are the same, and they're somewhat misled by the colors here, but they have to use their nose to figure out which containers smell alike, and that's actually kind of hard to do. This part is listening. These plastic light covers make great noise-canceling headsets. They're not very convenient, but at least they work. You may have seen these sorts of things at the Exploratorium. They're really easy and fun to work with. Kids love to wear them. And it's a good idea to compare it with a noise-canceling headset or ear protectors where you don't hear anything. So the whole idea here is, what do we hear and how do we hear the way we do? This is, of course, the location of sound. And an accidental discovery was our ocean organ, which we have some PVC pipe and water sloshes back and forth. And the kids like to play with these, so we have several of those around. So the idea again here is to get the kids experiencing science, of doing various kinds of experiments on their own. They come in class-sized groups or smaller groups. Sometimes the teacher leads them. Sometimes I actually come in and lead activities in this room. And all the kids just seem to love it. See you later.